What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 20th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off in roughly 2 minutes, we have initial jobless claims, forecast of 220,000. So I'll cycle back to that. But regardless, even if it's positive or negative, I don't really see it moving the market all that much, because as of late, the market's priced out any likelihood of a short-term rate cut. And I think in general, when initial jobless claims was negative, it reconfirmed that and really aided in kind of justified cuts. But now that Powell's kind of hit it home, and even the FOMC minutes yesterday did kind of reconfirm that, it looks as though that this probably will be a nothing burger for the data. Couple of Fed speakers throughout the day though, so that could obviously cause some volatility, but in reality, market's just going to be digesting Alibaba's earnings, which were absolutely on point, and then as well you have Palantir, which most likely is going to sell off. So definitely is going to make for a very interesting day. This kind of spike right here was Alibaba's earnings, so very interesting. Like I said, Dow is down 0.32, S&P down 0.19, NASDAQ is down 0.19 as well. Moving on, Sofi. So Sofi is down slightly, just piggybacking off the broader market. Very interesting to see the price action that did happen yesterday and how it just sold off alongside Palantir for whatever reason. I don't know how the businesses are so correlated, but sometimes when Palantir sells off, SoFi just gets dragged down with it. Maybe it's just the tech side of it. I'm not really sure, but they did put out news this morning, and that was this right here. So Galileo Financial Technologies enables brands to offer co-brand debit rewards cards. So pretty good stuff. I don't see this being a good reason to go out and buy SoFi nor sell. But again, this kind of adds a good layer once again that Galileo does offer the market. So pretty good stuff. Aside from that, shorts aren't doing anything this morning. 11.83% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 127.38 million shares overall are being shorted. 1604, that's what it's sitting at right now pre-market. So just watch for 1593 to be a strong support. So I don't see that flip side 1777 being touched. If anything, it's just going to be battling with this pivot point, whether it stays above or below. So again, something to keep in mind. Palantir is getting hit, so it went down 10% yesterday, largely just here, and then down another 3%. Overnight, it was flirting with that 105 range, so potentially that's where it could be heading, but ultimately, it looks like Pentagon defense spending is going to be cut. It's not crazy, but again, I think the market's just overreacting somewhat. And at the same time, a lot of people are bringing up the multiples at this stage. It's kind of funny when Palantir is running up, it's like everyone's in euphoria, but first sign of a little bit of a blip downwards, people are like, hey, look at the multiple, is way too overvalued. It needs to go down back to like 90, 80. So you have all that kind of going back and forth. And as well, you have kind of the CEO, Alex. I think he proposed a new 1.2 billion sale. So not the best. I know in the past, the market's been very forgiving for that, but clearly I think that was the final straw ultimately. So both kind of laid Palantir's bed today. And shorts, even though Palantir is not a squeeze play, only 3.39% of the free float is being shorted, I do anticipate them to be somewhat active today. So they might kind of increase their position, but in general, $8.22 billion worth of shorts are in it. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like shorts get very bold and just randomly increase. It usually doesn't work out in their favor though, so they usually get screwed. But again, I feel like today might be that defining point. Once again, that shorts kind of double down, but with it at 107 and change, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So if you're going to see any sort of recovery, watch for it to close above that 108 range for today. Moving on, Alibaba up 11%. Absolutely phenomenal earnings. You can kind of see massive beat on both earnings per share and revenue, and it's crazy. They made $280.2 billion in the quarter. That's just insane. So as of right now, 2.4% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 49.46 million shares. Shorts, oddly enough, are increasing this morning to 204,000 shares. So you're going to see most likely a little bit of a battle, but even looking at what shorts have been doing, they did break the trend and they doubled down. So they were anticipating Alibaba's earnings to be a miss. So again, this is where Alibaba, yeah, will probably screw over shorts quite a lot. So like I said, market's going to be digesting Alibaba and also Palantir, but with it at 139 and change, just watch for it to get above that 141 in the short term. And then flip side, that R2 won't be touched whatsoever. So moving on, RGTI. So this stock definitely is starting to gain a second wind alongside a lot of other spec stocks right now, but no news, no SEC filings, so just people's appetite for risk is increasing, and you're probably as well seeing a little bit of a rotation in the broader market. But 20.54% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 56.79 million shares overall are being shorted. With it at $12 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this S1, so just watch for 13.51 in the short term for it to kind of break above that. I don't think that will be touched today, so that is something to keep in mind going into the next couple trading days. And then last but not least, Walmart. So they did unveil their earnings. Definitely they hit it home saying that tariffs are really going to screw over their business, affect them, and that's pretty much as well. On a side note, what the FOMC minutes did state, how the tariffs, they talked quite a lot on that and how that is going to really affect consumers. So it says right here, would attempt to pass on consumers higher input costs arising from potential tariffs. They were very, very cautious about the words that they used. Didn't just say, yeah, tariffs are going to kind of cause everything to go higher and affect the consumer, because they wanted to, I don't think they can directly comment on that, but they said that it's going to affect businesses, and those businesses are going to relay the costs. Like, everyone already knew this, they just were, it's kind of interesting the terminology and the wording that they used. But aside from that, Walmart did reconfirm that tariffs would really dramatically hurt their business, which, well, makes sense. But shorts are increasing pre-market 1.29 million shares. That is a pretty big deal, increasing 3.54% overall. But obviously Walmart's not a squeeze play. 0.87% of the free float is being shorted. But the fact that based on this price action, it does signal that there is going to be a lot of definitely a pullback. So with it at 96 and change, it is right above this pivot point. So watch for that 95.56 to really hold. If not, 91.94, 89.70 to be the next strong kind of support levels. So let me know your thoughts on these. I'll quickly go over here. So initial jobs claims came in at 219,000. So definitely very good, a lot more positive. It's not really affecting futures all that much, as I mentioned. So let me know your viewpoint on all that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.